Hi, I'm Matt from Parksure Insurance. Apologies if I cough throughout this. I'm just getting over COVID. Well, I guess that puts a timestamp on this YouTube channel. Firstly, I just want to talk about insurance cost reductions. We often get asked by our clients who are new to the residential park, home and leisure industry why it's more expensive to insure mobile homes and holiday lodges or static caravans than the normal bricks and mortar homes they are used to. Now, there's several reasons, but it's mainly because your park, home or leisure lodge is constructed out of marine plywood and not made of stone or brick like your traditional property is. If you live in a bricks and mortar or stone house, then if you have a big claim like escape of water, a flood or even a fire, it's normally very unlikely that your home will be written off. Yes, it'll cost you to repair it, but it most probably won't be written off. It can therefore be repaired, which is normally less expensive than rebuilding it. And obviously, the insurers reflect this in the insurance premium. However, if you live in a park home or own a mobile home, holiday lodge or static caravan, then it's more likely that it will be written off in a fire or flood. We've even had it, believe it or not, had a park home written off from escape of water, and therefore it will have to be replaced, which is normally more expensive. Yes, the sums insured for your bricks and mortar home are likely to be more than the park home or holiday home, but the premium you pay as a percentage of that figure will be lower because it's less risk to the insurers, and the insurance premium you pay for a bricks and mortar property may therefore be lower than the park home or holiday home you are buying. Holiday lodges and static caravans present even more of a risk to the insurers, so therefore the premium is likely to be even more. Now, cover. You will no doubt have heard the old adage, you pay for what you get, and it is as valid to insurance as anything else. I've lost count of the times I've had to explain that the cheapest insurance isn't always the best. In fact, far from it. Surely all insurance cover is the same, isn't it? So it doesn't matter who you insure with. I always go with the cheapest and save money. It's normally the answer, or the old classic, I never claim, so I go with the cheapest, as it had never happened to me. I've dealt with far too many claims that should never have happened in the first place to believe that line. As for the all insurance cover is the same, I explain that insurance is like windscreen wipers. It doesn't matter how expensive your car is or what make and model it is. Pretty soon it'll rain and then you'll need your windscreen wipers. And then you'll realise just how good or not they are. And you may wish that you spent a little bit more money making sure you had the best wipers on your car. Now, this may seem like a weird analogy for an insurer that sounds park home insurance, holiday lodge insurance and static caravan insurance, but it is no less important to make sure that your home insurance is the right one for you and your home. If the insurance is not the right type of cover, then you may find that your cover is limited or restricted, or even find that you're not covered at all, and therefore regret the fact that you think you've saved yourself money. Sadly, you're only likely to discover this when you want to make a claim. So don't be one of those people who buys the best car or home they can afford and then go for the cheapest windscreen wipers or insurance policy. It really will end up costing you more in the long run. And trust me, when it really does start raining or you're dealing with a fire or flood, that little saving you made on your insurance will be far from your mind. Making sure that you actually got decent cover with an honest insurance company will be your priority. But by then, it may be too late. So remember, those cheap windscreen wipers could end up costing you your home. Now, Parkshure's policy cover. All insurance covers will offer different cover. Some will be at the top end of the cover market and some will be at the lower end. So you need to check the cover to see if it really does suit your needs. And remember that the premium will, of course, vary depending on what cover you get. Remember those windscreen wipers. We took the decision at Parksure long time ago that we wanted to offer cover that we personally would want to have ourselves if we owned a park home or a holiday home. Therefore, Parkshure's policy cover is widely regarded as one of the best on the market. Accidental damage cover is standard, 500,000 sums insured on the buildings, boiler and legal cover for the park homes, vermin and pet damage cover for the lodges and the statics, and the premium is very competitive for the top quality cover that we offer. Okay, you've sold me on the fact that the insurance is going to cost me more than a traditional property, but how can I try to keep it down? Well, there's several ways. Your insurance premium is based on risk, understandably. We've already explained that the risk for a park home is more than a brick house. Holiday homes even more so, as they're normally unoccupied during the winter months. If they're unoccupied, even a small problem can become a huge claim. That small pinprick water leak could lay undiscovered for months. Unoccupied properties are more susceptible to break-ins and vandalism, so again, that premium rate percentage is even more. The location can have a huge impact on your premium. Are you in a high crime area? Is your home in a flood risk area? Do you get a lot of storm damage in your area? It might not be possible for you to move, but if you're thinking of buying your first park home or holiday lodge, you should take these things into account before you buy. And if you choose to live in a higher risk area, then obviously you end up paying a higher premium because of it. If you want us to check out the park, by all means give us a ring. One of the other ways of keeping claims down is to be proactive to reduce claims. It may sound obvious, but the less claims you have, the less your insurance is. The more claims you have, especially of a similar nature, the more your insurance will regard you as being a higher insurance risk and potentially put your premiums up or apply terms like a higher excess. If you've had too many claims, they may not want to insure you at all. So be careful and don't do silly things like leave your front door unlocked or that window open when you go shopping. Obviously, some claims will be out of your control, but take a look at our general maintenance top tips on our YouTube channel to try and reduce the likelihood of claims caused by lack of maintenance. You'd be amazed just how many claims could have been prevented by a bit of care and maintenance. Another way to reduce costs is the excess. Some companies, not us by the way, may give you the option of increasing your claims excess in order to reduce your premium. This may save you money, but then if you have a claim, they will deduct this excess from any claim settlement. And if the amount you're trying to claim is under that excess limit, you won't be able to claim at all. We don't offer this facility as we feel our excess are fine as they are. We want to offer you the very best cover we have, so having a higher than normal excess, even if it's optional, goes against this ethos. Another way, something you need to be careful of, is high risk items. Do you really need that money in your park home or the expensive jewellery? If you do, that's fine, but you'll find that most insurers will have a limit on the amount of valuables in your home and different opinions on what counts as valuables. They may also have a set percentage of your contents as a high risk limit and a percentage for individual items. For example, our high risk limit on our sums insured for park homes is 35% of the standard 50,000 we offer, which is 17,500, with an individual limit of 5% of that same value, that same 50,000, i.e. 2,500. So with us, if you have any valuable items of jewellery and a combined total of more than 17,500, you'll need to specify them and insure them separately, and of course pay a separate premium for them. Other insurers may have a different limit than us, so it's worth checking. If you're under this limit, then you have nothing to worry about. If you're over, you'll need to specify them and thus pay extra for the extra cover. But do you really need that extra jewellery? If you're looking to save money on your insurance, then maybe it's time to sell it or give it away to other family members. Remember, not insuring or choosing to risk it by not insuring it is not an option, as your insurance policy will only pay the limit on the policy, and with smaller claims they may class it as underinsurance and only pay the percentage of the claim that you've been paying for. After all, if your neighbour has more than the normal amount of high risk items, which is generally accepted to be about 35% of their entire contents, then they should be paying more, shouldn't they? So if they're paying $250 for their insurance, but should have been paying $500 due to that Van Gogh they've got hanging on a wall, and they had a small claim for say $2,000, the insurers are within their right to pay 50% of the claim, as they've only been paying 50% of the insurance risk. So check what the insurers deem as high risk items, and then calculate how much it would cost to replace it, and you'll have an idea of just what you need to be insured correctly. Personal portable possessions, or cover away from the home. This refers to personal effects or possessions or contents that you will normally take outside and away from the home with you. For example, jewellery that you want covered outside the home, money, hearing aids, glasses, mobile phones, etc. This is normally an optional extra. It certainly is with ourselves. And as it's an optional extra, you'll have to pay extra for this insurance. This pound for pound is the most expensive section, as the majority of claims actually happen away from the home. You're not going to lose your hearing aid in the house. It will eventually turn up. If it's going to happen, it'll happen whilst you're out and about. So you need to think about whether you require this section of cover. Do you take a lot of valuable items outside with you? If so, you may want to consider this cover. We've dealt with too many claims to tell you not to take this cover out, so the decision is entirely up to you. But remember, if you choose not to have this cover and something does happen outside the home, then you won't be able to claim. You can't complain if we offer you this cover, you turned it down and then dropped or broke your glasses whilst out shopping, or heaven forbid, you get mugged and they take your wallet. Now, one other way, and maybe one of the best ways to reduce the cost, or at least get some money back, is to refer a friend. All you have to do is refer a friend to your insurer, and they should send you a voucher as a thank you. All decent insurers do this, and if yours doesn't, then why not? Parksure operates a refer a friend scheme whereby you both benefit from your referral. The person you recommend, if they go on cover, gets a £10 M&S voucher, and so do you. You can even opt not to have the £10 voucher and instead receive £15 off your renewal premium. And what's more, there's no limit to the amount of people you can refer, so that £10 M&S voucher could just as easily be £100 worth of M&S vouchers, or £150 off your insurance premium. It's really up to you how much effort you put in. We've even had a few clients who've chosen to donate the money they've raised to a charity of their choosing, or even the Residents Association. It's really up to you. If you refer someone to us and they go on cover, it's your referral money to do with as you wish. So far, we've given away over 700 M&S vouchers. That's £7,000 our customers have earned to spend at Marks and Spencer's, and over 500 people have opted for the £15 off their renewal. Excuse me. That's over £7,500 off our clients' insurance. So if you're trying to save money, then bear this in mind. And remember, all decent insurers offer this referral scheme or something similar. And if yours doesn't, then maybe you're with the wrong insurer. And if you're worried about referring us to your friends, please take a look at our testimonial page. There's over 500 testimonials on there, pages and pages of them. In fact, we get so many, I now tend to only put the more unusual ones on there. So we must be doing something right. So remember those windscreen wipers. We don't want to be caught out. You don't want to be caught out when it starts raining. Check the cover, and remember you get what you pay for. Remember, if you refer new clients to us and they go on cover, you can both benefit, and you have the option of turning your £10 M&S voucher into £15 off your renewal, which could really mount up if you refer lots of people to us. And that's it. Call us to discuss this or obtain an insurance quotation on free phone number 0800 731 9583, or visit us at www.parksure.com. And keep an eye out for more Parksure top tips in the near future. Take care. Stay safe.